My name's Paul. This is my wife, Rachel. And this is our 6-year-old son, Rigel. And soon to enter the world is his little brother in about 5 weeks. Rigel was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder when he was 2.5 years old. I would say he's a very happy boy. You can see he's very playful. He enjoys, even though he's nonverbal, he loves interacting and communicating in his own way. And he loves playing with cars, he loves sports. And lately what's been great is he's really getting into arts and crafts. And so my wife does a lot of arts and crafts with him on the weekends. And he's really gotten into writing in the last half year, which has been wonderful to see. It was always been a struggle for him, the fine motor skills. But once he kind of got over a hump and he started to see that he could make letters, his excitement just exploded. Once we got the diagnosis, we just turned into the learning mode. But as we were doing that, we found so much information. We got overwhelmed with where do we start, what to do first. That was quite overwhelming in the beginning. And so in the early days, him not being able to communicate, it caused a lot of behavioral challenges, because you can only imagine if you have all these thoughts in your head and you can't express them. So some of the other challenges we have is with transitions, especially when he's doing a preferred task like playing, and we need to transition into mealtime or his hygiene routine. That's really tough. Just his kind of meltdowns and sometimes self-harming behavior, which is just heartbreaking. What we realized is the key thing that helps him around behavioral challenges is we have to prepare him. So a key thing that we do a lot is like a 10-second countdown. And a lot of times he will negotiate, he'll go like this, 1 more minute. I'm like, all right. And that kind of became our routine. I'm like, all right, final minute, final countdown. With communication, definitely that was the biggest challenge in the beginning. And his early communication skills were just about gesturing and pointing and grunting. And then kind of by accident, he was watching this YouTube Kids video where they were singing and doing sign language, and he just picked up the signs. What was really pivotal was when we connected first with Holland Bloorview was to explore the possibility of using an AAC or a communication device. Then once we got a trial of this device and we saw how quickly he took to it, it just opened up a new world of communication for us. And it allowed him to finally share all these ideas and thoughts in his head that he couldn't communicate to us before. So we're using a program called LAMP. It's icon-based, and there's like a home page where he clicks on different icons that opens up a category with more words or vocabulary. And then you can click at the top and it'll say it out loud. It's with him at school all day. It allows him to interact with his teachers, with other classmates, and they just tell us how fast he is and how excited he is. Honestly, for me, the best support I found was a podcast. It's called Autism Parenting Secrets. It's from 2 parents in the States who have walked the walk. In Durham region, we have an organization called Grandview for Kids. They provided a lot of support for us. The care that's been the most helpful are the people that understand that they probably come into some session with a plan, but knowing that they might have to scrap that plan based on what my son is doing. There's been some cases where someone's really tried to stick to their agenda, and it was a really tough time for my son. But just recently, we had an occupational therapy session where they realized that he is quite active and it's hard for him to kind of just sit still and focus. So they had a mixture of activities where, yeah, there was some sitting at a table, but then they would have a break where he could go run around and pick up heavy things to get that out of his system. And then he was able to come back and focus for the next task. So having people that understood our son and made adjustments for him, that's been really touching for us. And it makes us and my son want to go back to to see them again. Funny enough, when you have a child on the spectrum, you can actually see signs or recognize when you're out in public that another child also might have autism, and you see those parents struggling, and sometimes I just go up to them and start a conversation, starting with, hey, I have a son on the spectrum, and then a conversation starts, and then we get to know each other, and a lot of times my wife has exchanged phone numbers with other mothers that she's met, and we stayed in contact. So I am a very different person now, and I would say the kind of the biggest thing is being free of judgment, especially when you see things out in the world, whereas in the past you might have some prejudices, or you might think, oh, why can't that parent control their kid? Whereas now I immediately think, oh, that parent is having a tough time. Is there anything I could do to help, even though I'm a stranger? A couple of months ago, I started writing on Substack. So I'm a health coach for fathers, specifically. Fathers kind of get ignored sometimes, I think in the broader media. And so I'm trying to just write from our voices, let other fathers know that there is community out there. I want to help people who are like me, who let family life, responsibilities, work pressure overshadow focusing on their health. And just knowing that when you have children on the spectrum and they require so much time and energy, you need to be healthy. I think for dads, and what I've learned as a health coach, it's not just about your physical health. And if you're not taking steps to support your physical health, there's probably a reason that's coming from your mental health and your emotional health. And often dads keep that inside. They're not so open to share that. And I think that's probably one of the biggest challenges dads face, is that they don't have an outlet or external support.
He's explained his perspective in the dad's points of view. Usually we don't hear that often, because mostly is that even I'm part of the mom's group, so we don't usually, like, the most thing that we talk about is about like the mother who's the main responsibility for if they have autistic kid. So it's very, very rare that we hear some point of view from a dad's perspective.
And while it's not an easy life, there is still a lot of beauty in it. And I would say one of the greatest gifts my son has given me is he's taught me to be more compassionate and patient and understanding. So I don't know if this would work for all families, but it's weird. Whenever I put him on my shoulders, it's like a tranquilizer dart gets into him. You can see how he just calmed down immediately. And so it's been a very helpful tool, especially if we're outdoors and he's getting overstimulated. I can just put him up here and instantly he calms down.